Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Midwest Dungeon Delvers. Tonight, we are, of course, continuing the Fair Before the Foul, our tabletop RPG series. And, last week was pretty crazy. Let's see what happens in tonight's episode of the Fair Before the Foul.
Arch the troll with strength of stone, cave and mud his ancient home, blending ages, milk and honey, folk with brass, the mudmen's irony. Oh, the tales of night and day, grit and magic, steel and clay, got hidden swords, riddles be praised, our gods' paths in a wild race. It's the fair before the foul, the fair before the foul. Quiet steps on muddy land, Roman tools and elfin lore, stands between peace and war. Guide and guides on wings of green, sprites own magic, secret sheen, harbinger of twilight's call, dances through the midnight sprawl. Oh, the tales of night and day, grit and magic, steel and clay, got hidden swords, riddles be praised, our gods' paths in a wild race. It's the fair before the foul, the fair before the foul.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Alright, let us get a quick recap of what happened last week.
Alright, well, so last week you guys spent most of the session hanging around the crossroads that you guys are currently building up with your goblin cohorts. You guys did receive a new visitor / resident to your crossroads area who her royal entry was met with suspicion, fears, and a lot of uncomfortability. Lots of weapons were made by Arg the Alchemist, and various preparations and stuff getting ready for the siege that will be occurring relatively soon.
Arg was not scared of the princess. He just decided that he should be elsewhere at all times.
Yes, and one of Arg's flasks of acid has disappeared.
Flesh-eating acid. Not the best thing to misplace.
It's never a good thing to misplace your acid.
Definitely don't want to trip up on that.
Nope. But that is the long and the short of how the session last week went, was mostly dealing with the princess.
Yes.
Well, the princess and the goblins, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
The sad thing is you don't probably even realize that that's a pun, do you?
No, I do not.
George McDonald, The Princess and the Goblin.
No. I don't want to lose Sleek Skulk or any of the others. They're gonna get killed, though. I have the feeling.
You have the feeling. So, the acid has disappeared. Gaiden finding that the princess is still in her chambers. Biddlesby seeing a faint phantom with blonde hair disappear into the crowds of tents.
I
It-
quickly turn back to my business and pretend that didn't happen.
You don't get the feeling you're being watched anymore. However, Arg, make an awareness check for me, please.
Now, half a sec. 20 plus prime plus 2. All right.
Arg.
Okay, 24.
Okay, Arg, you are sniffing the air and you just have this feeling that something is off and something is following you, staring at you. Like you can feel that like fire in between your shoulder blades, that something is stalking you. But every time you look around, nothing's there. There's no scent on the air, no vibrations coming through the ground. Everywhere you go, though, for the rest of the night, you're getting this feeling that something is there.
I will 100% spend my night around the edges of the camp, not visiting any of my stashes or workshop, and I'll act like I'm making stuff. Maybe I shall do some alchemy or, talk with the goblins or whatever, but just like doing nothing important and going near nothing important.
Yeah, everywhere you go, though, you just get this sinister feeling that something is just beyond your senses.
Please don't make me make a new character.
You do not get any rest tonight, Arg.
Arg, of course, is going to go sleep.
Yes.
Or at least he's going to pretend he's going to go sleep.
Yes, as you go and go lay down, and you can just feel it staring at you. Biddlesby, I assume you eventually go to sleep.
I eventually lie down for the evening.
You have fitful sleep as well, and I know Gaiden is not feeling the best, so we will every now and then bring Gaiden in, but Gaiden also has fitful night's sleep as well. The morning comes. The morning comes, and Biddlesby, when you awake, you have a small group of armored goblins and a small group of armored elves standing outside your tent.
Yes. What is it?
The princess walks forward, looks at you, and says, "Biddlesby, what kind of business are you going to be doing today?"
Well, today it is preparation for the siege. Battle plans are in need of finality, and that needs to be communicated to the troops. So that seems like a pretty busy day for Bittlesby.
That does sound like a busy day. Could you do me a big favor?
Yes?
I need some supplies delivered.
In which direction?
Oh no, I mean I need supplies delivered to me from my holdings.
Ah, you seek retrieval.
Yes. So I need a message sent out so that the supplies can come to me.
All right. And what would that be?
She holds out a letter and she goes, "If you wouldn't mind."
I take the letter.
She looks at you and smiles and goes, "No peeking."
I'm not supposed to read the requisition list.
Nope. Just send it for me.
Just send the list to the holding. That's all you wish of me.
Yes, send it to. Well, I did put a name on the letter. She points to the name.
And what name do I spy on this letter?
You spy. The name is going to be. There we go. Phelan.
Kalen or Phelan?
Phelan with a
Phelan.
TH.
Phelan. Okay. I look at the name. Does it ring a bell? Does it?
How much do you know of Elven politics?
Ooh, that is a good question. I would say that Bittlesby is more aware of goblin politics than he is elven.
Okay, give me a history check with disadvantage.
Okay. History. And I actually have that bubble. With disadvantage.
With disadvantage because you're more used to the front line. You haven't really dealt with the
Back wall.
the at home theater.
So, that is going to be a sad 20 if it wasn't with disadvantage. Since it's with disadvantage, it's 8.
Yeah. So the last name of Thalen is Rahul, Rhual, Rule or something like that.
Rule.
Yes. You look at it, you see the name, and you're like, I should know something, but it's not clicking.
Got it. Must it be delivered by my hands, or may I send someone?
She just kind of goes, you're going to be very busy today, so I assumed you would just send a messenger or something with it.
Is this not a, thing that can be asked via the messenger lizards?
He looks at you with a puzzled expression. Messenger lizards?
Were you not informed?
Did you guys hide something from me yesterday, in yesterday's tour?
It's not really hidden. They're all over the place. And I, look and point at all the scurrying lizards.
Yeah, but remember, it's only been maybe a month since your druid friend made the messenger druids.
Oh my goodness! Subscribe all.
So yeah, she has not been informed about the messenger lizards because, that was something that Thorn and the prince and your party figured out with the advent of the druid who got the lizards into a messenger lizard system. This is a relatively new thing.
Well, fine.
And she's like, messenger lizard, and you show her, I assume, how the yep.
I point
And she
it
looks
out and show her how it works.
She is just excited about this. Not overly excited. Like she's like, "Oh wow, that is amazing. How did you do this?" And the entire time she has not gotten close to you like she was yesterday. She's not. You don't get that malevolence from her or anything like that.
Okay. Huh.
But yeah,
I just make a mental note of that.
Mhm.
Like she's behaving differently.
Yeah. And so,
all right.
she-
If this must be hand delivered, I can send someone.
she goes, "I don't think it has to be hand delivered. You could probably send a messenger lizard. Thalen should be at the Legion camp."
Oh well then, wonderful. We have plenty of messenger lizards that can travel to and fro from there.
Thank you so much.
So
She's like,
I
"Do you mind if I sit in on your busy work today?"
You are more than welcome, Your Grace.
She walks into your tent and takes your seat.
Of course. Of course she does. Okay. I very quickly like grab like a wooden board or something to like keep my notes on, and then I pick up my battle stratagem stuff and put it on that and hold it so it's not like directly on the table and I'm not leaning over it.
Yeah, as you tie off the note to the lizard and send it scurrying. She's just examining all of your battle plans and everything, and you come in and start like moving your papers around, doing what you're, set it all up. She gives you some suggestions of like, oh, you should probably do this instead of that. Things like that. Just
Well, Your Grace,
giving
goblins
helpful
are
suggestions.
definitely a different breed of fighter than the elves. They are more gung-ho, as it were, if placed here. You can see, right?
That might be. I've not actually experienced the true metal of what goblins have in store. Would you mind gathering the chieftains? That way I can take a proper examination of what you have available for their metal.
Well, of course. I turn to which one did I have like following her as a person?
You had
Was it Drekken?
Drekken.
Yeah.
Yep.
I look at Drekken, as he is one of the chieftains.
Yep.
And I say, can you gather the rest of the chieftains for a impromptu meeting?
He peeks his head out and he points to one of the other goblins and goes, "Hey, get the rest of the chieftains. Tell them Biddlesby wants to see everybody now."
Love it. Love it. Oh, and while you're at it, get Arg as well.
He slaps another one and goes, "Go tell him get Arg too." As the other goblin's ready to catch up, he goes, "Actually, tell the rest of the guard to go look for Arg."
Go find Arg.
He's like, he turns back around and gives you the thumbs up.
I'm rolling a stealth check. I'm gonna roll it at disadvantage because sleepless night. So
Okay.
ha, knew it. Got a 1. Argus hiding.
He's such
Uh,
a stealthy boy.
Yeah, Ark, as you go to like do your you've done the invisibility trick many a times. You go to do the invisibility trick and something's not working.
Arg is going to grab a nearby blanket and throw it over himself and curl up in a ball and hide.
You do exactly that. You still feel the eyes on you.
Okay, I know I'm totally ripping off somebody else, but I have to do it. Arg is going to stand up and yell as loud as possibly as he can. You don't see me! And
Bittlesby, you hear.
intimidation.
Okay. And Bittlesby, you hear a roar that is Arg saying, "You don't see me."
Oh no.
Everyone in the camp just like goes deathly quiet for like 5 seconds. You could hear a pin drop.
So yeah, when I roll a skill that I don't have a bubble in, I don't add the stat to it or anything else, right? It's just the roll.
I believe you still add your stat to it. I don't think you add any bonuses of like
Oh,
the bubbles.
great. Gotcha. All right, so that's 9.
Okay. You
5
yell
plus
out
4
an
is 9.
Yep. You yell out an intimidating roar of "You can't see me," while still covered in a blanket. You have been thoroughly invisibilized now because anything that would want to stare at you is now scared of you. You also hear the sound of like 5 armored footfalls coming up to you, and they stop like about 2 of your arm spans away, and they go, Arg? Bittlesby would like to see you at
Arg
his
is
tent,
hidden.
please.
Arg is hidden.
Oh, yes, Arg is hidden. No one can see Arg. As they turn around and they go, they yell out, Arg, if you're around here, Bittlesby would like to see you in his tent, please.
I am going to sneak my way into the tent.
None of the goblins
I
see
still
you.
I still have the blanket on my head.
Yep, none of the goblins see you. As they all kind of just like take the hint to not be looking in your direction and slinking away. The 2 guards come back and as following behind Arg while not looking at Arg.
Arg.
Arg is standing very, very still in the tent. Nobody can see him.
Arg, the moment you get within like 60 feet of the tent, the eyes disappear from you. Like that feeling you're being stared at just stops.
Okay. Arg is still sneaking.
Yes.
That's kind of a matter of pride, you know?
Yes. The other chieftains begin to arrive.
Well, now that everyone's gathered, we can discuss our battle strategies.
Yes, yes, yes.
As well as our fair lady here. wishes to ask of all of you chieftains something. So listen up.
She looks out at the assembled group of goblin leaders and looks at Arg and goes, well, as many of you might have found out, I arrived yesterday and made a little bit of a splash. I would like to get to know each and every single one of you on a more fundamental level to really see what your tribes have to offer and like what kind of specialties and just like where you will fit in to the greater society and how best to utilize your particular skills and invite you to make this place like a home away from home, so to speak, so that you can bring some of your tribes and families and set up here as a temporary fortification. We'll need more supplies and more people to help get everything up and running. And Biddlesby is doing such a wonderful job here. I would like us all to congratulate Biddlesby with a nice round of applause.
That's not necessary, my lady.
And then to each of the goblin leaders here, you all have done a wonderful job in shepherding your people and seeing the light of the empire at large and just deciding that it is time to put petty squabbles away and join the greater society.
How do some of the chieftains look like they're taking that?
Brecken arguably is the most receptive to this whole thing.
Well, yeah.
Meanwhile, Slagwort and Karoo are both like, what is this? Slagwort more, I just like to smash things, kind of like this is a bit much, and Karoo more of like, what the hell is this? Rugger seems to be receptive to this. And then Slink Skulk is he looks to you for like how he should react to this.
And I give him like a subtle like eyebrow raise.
And he just kind of goes he just kind of like gives you that little bit of a shrug and goes, and he nods along with like Rugger and Drekken, and he just kind of
Okay. Rousing and inspiring words from our gracious princess. Here.
everybody kind of does the little clappity claps, and she stands up and she gives a little bow, and she offers you your seat back at the table.
I bow deeply and then go to take my seat.
You sit down, and she puts her hand on your shoulder, and you don't feel the firm grip. You just feel that like reassuring pat on your shoulder.
I lay out the finished battle plans in front of the chieftains.
Give me an influence. Or wait, what did you take like battle tactics or something like that?
I did take battle tactics.
Give me a battle tactics roll.
All right. Battle tactics. It's got a 3 plus 2, so it's a plus 5 on top of a 4. 9.
The Karoo kind of like, as you're explaining this, Karoo and Drekken just kind of give you that like squinted, ooh, brother,
What? What's wrong?
They're like, it's not our place to critique your work, sir.
Look, if you have a better stratagem, that's what this meeting is for, chieftains. Speak your mind.
We don't think you're utilizing us in the correct ways. And the princess goes, yeah, see, as I was saying earlier, if you wanted to do this, and she kind of like points at your plans and like shows you like some other methods and things. And she's like, now I don't know any of you guys or what your tribes are capable of, but this is how you would do your battle tactics in a more efficient manner. Just utilizing people, like using numbers and how you would place them.
So you don't put a phalanx of your weakest warriors first and save the best for last.
You can, but you would have to, use your stronger soldiers in a scorpion pincer motion.
Didn't even
And-
pinch. Didn't even pinch.
Let me roll a battle tactics for her.
It's intelligence base.
17 on the die.
I'm gonna get shown up by the princess.
Karu and Brecken both just look at her like astonished, and they're like, then they look at you and they go, yes, that.
Well, wonderful. We will implement our wondrous princess's battle strategy into the existing plan.
And she goes, well, you don't have to use my plans. I'm just giving you some inspiration so that you can revise with your chieftains here.
Look, I see
I don't
no
wanna
reason
take
to
your
improve
thunder.
upon perfection, do you? And I turn to the chieftains.
The chieftains all kind of like give you the look of like, that's a really good plan. She's like, no. Give it a little bit of time. Talk with your chieftains. See if you can utilize the information given, and like if it inspires anything daring and dashing in you. I would not want to take the thunder from your steps on this. I want you to really give it your all. And she gives you like the 2 taps on the chest. She's like, I will just be a silent observer from now on for the rest of this meeting.
I quickly take the battle strategies back from the table. I quickly like scribble some notes and things and change everything and like I rip a page out and just throw
Madman over here.
it.
And the rest of the chieftains kind of like walk up to the table and they start giving their input.
Yes.
Madness. Madman working here.
Now, of our goblin battalions, which ones can conjure their fireballs easiest?
Well, Rugger goes, well, it would be... We're the most inclined to using the magics. And Slingskull goes, we also can do it as well. Drekken looks at you and says, with our armor, we're not really magicked, like, in the position to use our fireball magics. And Karu looks at you and says, we can use our fire. Slagwort goes, we can fire.
We can fire. I would like the Dark Fangs to be right behind a wall of stone gut and war tusks. Raining fire from this position here.
Rugger kind of gives you the nod. Okay.
And this way you will have a solid wall of melee defenders should any of the enemy try to rush you.
And Drekken kind of gives you the, yeah, we could stop that. And he also looks over at Rugger and goes, it also means you're going to be right there able to heal us whenever we take injury.
Yes. Yes. And then I would like the Slink Skulk Battalion to help maneuver me through the battlefield. So, the Bloodfangs, you are our Vanguard Strike Force with me.
Sling Skull goes, yes. Would you mind just spitballing an idea out here, boss? Would never try to undermine. But wouldn't you want a couple War Tusks along with you as your personal bodyguard retinue?
Oh. Why, that's what Slagwort's for.
They work just as well as yes, because he looks at you with like the pleading in his eyes and goes, "We can fight," but and he looks over at Slagwort, who has only gotten bigger since the ritual was completed.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he just kind of like points at Slagwort and goes, "But
the Grimclaws can fight, yes. You see, the Bloodfangs and Grimclaws, you will be with me, and we will be pushing forward through the battlefield. Grimclaws, your task is to destroy what's in our path. Bloodfangs."
Slagwort just goes. You see him like put his fists together, and he just kind of like does the chimpanzee like, yes.
What a beautiful day! No.
And Peru sits there with his arms crossed and goes, and the War Tusks drop?
I said the War Tusks and Stone Guts were guarding the Dark Fangs.
He goes, guard duty for the War Tusks?
Oh, do you not understand? They're not going to be stationary. They're going to move forward with us.
He goes, yeah. Yes, Biddlesby, Commander, Biddlesby. He goes, it's a fine idea. However, he looks down at like your map, and he goes, it would do better. And he like points at like 2 spots behind the line, and he goes, some siege equipment there, and then a flanking attack. We go up with the Stone Guts and the Bloodfangs, but then we flank left as you go right.
I keep forgetting how your numbers are different from the other tribes. Yes, you have more manpower to spread around.
Right, that's why I wanted to make sure that we were.
You have multiple
utilized.
Facets within the battle, yes.
Because I just wanted to make sure we were utilizing my boys with efficiency. And plus, 2 siege engines would be more than enough to probably rattle the undisciplined horde. Go ahead and make another battle tactics roll for me. With advantage.
Okay. With all the chieftains and the princess helping me.
Yep. Your initial plans were okay.
Why? No, why?
Your secondary plans are.
Why did it get worse? So, I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Eh,
Why did it get worse?
Everybody just kind of looks at your plans after you've gone through and talked it out,
Like
and
a
they're like,
madman. I sketch
Yes.
all the battle plans after everyone's given me their input, and then I lay out the thing on the table and I go, done. And it's
Yep, and-
scribble mess.
later, as you put it down on the table, and like you guys are going through everything, the princess like stands up, looks over, and as she looks over, you kind of move, which causes like a liquid to spill out on your plans.
As you can
And you
see, it's a brilliant plan.
You look back over and you're like, the brilliance is ruined.
No! What have I done?
And they just kind of look at you and they go, just remake it, Biddlesby. It'll be okay. And the
It's
princess
not
walks-
okay! And I rip up the paper and I toss it in the air and I look at Slink Skulk.
Slink Skull kind of slinks back a little bit as you stare at him with a wild expression.
Burn the shards of my failure!
He collects it all up and throws it into the fire. He just kind of... the princess walks up to Arg, who is covered in the blanket, and she reaches out and goes, Arg, and just like does a tap tap on Arg's knee. Would you...
Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
Oh, you're good. Would you mind taking
She can't
off
see
your...
me.
Yeah, she taps you. Would you mind taking off your robe or cloak or whatever that is that you're wearing? And she sounds
Arg
so
starts,
sweet and so nice.
Arg starts sidestepping slowly to the side, like, just to make sure she doesn't know where I am, I'm gonna move slightly, and then she'll have no idea where I am.
And she kind of gives...
Then freeze again.
Yeah, and she goes, Arg, you are making me sad by not showing yourself. You're such a brilliant troll. I thought you were brave. As she turns around and starts to walk away, sullen.
Arg reaches up and pulls the blanket off, and he's pouting, like scolded toddler kind of soul at the moment.
She turns around and you see like just the light in her eyes as she just kind of goes, "Thank you, Arg. It's so nice to see you."
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna like, what, insight check?
Uh-huh.
Alright, yeah. Okay, 7.
She seems genuine. Like she's genuinely happy to see you. She looks really happy to see you. And you get no weird feeling from her.
Arg is doing the whole, but this, but that, but he's like, okay, alright. He just sort of, he's gonna go with it.
And she just goes, Arg, would you do something that's a little unconventional?
Yes, frequently.
Yes, can I ride on your shoulders? Just once. And she gives you like the big puppy dog eyes just once around the camp.
Once.
Excitedly runs over to you and gives you a hug.
Both hands out like, somebody,
Biddlesby, you watch Arg get really uncomfortable.
Yep.
Okay, we go for a walk.
And she goes, Biddlesby, you're coming with us as well. You have to continue to tell me about your day and what plans you have today. And we will work on your plans together. Because I assume you're done meeting with the chieftains for now.
I guess.
The chieftains kind of sit there like, what just happened? Have we been dismissed?
I look at the chieftains. The battle plans. The ones that I didn't mess up.
They all nod and they go, the way you described it, before you wrote it down, was wonderful.
That. So, just communicate that to your tribes. Dismissed.
They give the thumbs up.
And then I walk out of the tent and follow them.
You watch as she waits for Arg to put her on his shoulders, however Arg is going to put her on his shoulders.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I will. You know what? Just I'm gonna face plant in the dirt and gesture for her to climb on. I'm not gonna try and pick her up.
She hops onto your shoulders and she is ready to go.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna walk around the camp.
And you walk around the camp and she is just giving you all the praises in the world. She is excited like a 3-year-old.
Arg kind of has a feeling of, and this is my life now. For however long it lasts.
Yep, as she leans down and whispers in your ear, why do you have red tattoos?
Arg wants to ask your question about something.
I'm going to lead her where I have the cauldron hidden, fully intending to rehide it after I show her it, right?
Yep.
Just as part of the, like, I run off, shake everybody else briefly,
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Yeah,
and I
Biddlesby, you watch as Arg, along with the guards behind you, Arg just takes off running.
I look at the guards, and then I look at Arg, and I give chase.
And as you give chase, you notice Arg goes from like normal, like the normal run you have seen Arg do to Arg then doing the full gorilla, like all fours, and like leaping across, like leaping over tents and stuff.
Where is this on the battlefield?
You remember this is what he did whenever you guys got ambushed by the Mudmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arg, you slip away really quickly, just with the sheer strength of being able to launch yourself and move very quickly. But you can hear them.
I point.
You point at the cauldron.
Yeah,
What color is the liquid?
She looks at you and she goes, "Well, it's red."
Interesting. Okay, we go back.
and I run back.
Yeah, as Biddleby and the guards come straight charging down into the tunnel. Do you guys see Arg walking back with the princess?
What was that about?
Random muscle spasm.
Insight. 11 plus 5, 16.
Right, trickery then. Yeah, I have rolled like 5 5s tonight, so yeah. That's an 8.
Muscle spasm.
Right.
And you know it was not a muscle spasm.
Right.
And the princess goes, "Don't be mad at Arg. I asked him to run. I wanted to feel the wind through my hair again, just like when Gaiden took me flying." This was a lot safer. You were very upset with Gaiden.
It only seems safer from the cushion of the fur.
Because you think Arg would let anything bad happen to me, and she kind of like gives him the playful like rub of his fur, yeah, rub of his fur on the top of his head.
I don't know what Arg would do.
She kind of like
Arg
puts
would
her head on
run.
top of. She puts her head on top of his and goes, "Arg is a giant, lovable troll. I don't know why you think different."
Art grins at you.
Yeah, I am unnerved by the grin. Fine. Well, now that that is all, with that, I will now begin my rounds.
Yes, we will begin the rounds.
So I go on my official rounds, and I make one pit stop at Guidance workshop. See if he needs any help with anything.
And also see what new things Gaiden is wanting to begin crafting,
That is true.
if he is available.
I hear something. I'm coming. Hold on. I open the door. Oh, it's you.
Yes. Me and the princess are making the rounds this afternoon with the accompaniment of Og. And I wondered if you needed any assistance with perhaps another of your magnificent magnifying whatever.
Yeah.
Or if there was anything new that you were beginning to craft or draw the plans for.
Perhaps a way to deploy our new chemical warfare provided by Og. One less
Ooh.
dangerous for us.
For like what kind of delivery? Like mass delivery to an area or like target? Or both?
Why not both?
All right. I think I'll start with the targeted stuff first.
All right. What kind of thing are you wanting to make? Like a ballista type thing, or are you looking for more of a catapult type thing?
Well, yeah, I think I'll need some glass blowing and some jewelry or some jewelers for this.
Okay. Well, go ahead and make a. Let me see. Where is? See, jewelers is agility, and glass blowing is can also be agility.
I'm gonna try and make a pressurized dart vessel.
Can I assist
Alright.
to give him advantage?
Sure.
Yay, I did the help action. I gain a stamina point back. Lol.
So it's an agility check that you'll have to make there, Gaiden.
Okay.
Are you wanting to do one for both of them, or are you wanting to do one for, like, one twice, essentially? Because it can go either way. You can either do one roll for your jeweler and for your glass blowing, or you can do a roll for your jeweler and a roll for your glass blowing.
I'll do one each.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll start with the glass blowing part because it's first listed.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's a 20.
All right.
And then advantage, you said? For
Yep,
each?
with advantage. Yep.
Okay. So that's 24.
Okay. 24.
And then, oof. Ah. The jeweler's part, I'm not so hot on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no luck. Well, Fui, it's just bad. It's 8.
8. So yeah, you end up making amazing like containers, glass containers for the chemicals to be put into and whatnot. Finding a means of attaching them to the bolts are going to be a little bit more tricky. Your initial jeweling thing has given you an idea of how you might do it, but you might need to refine it into a more, like, you're gonna have to do some trials and errors on these weapons you're making.
Okay.
The first one didn't go so well, but you have an idea of how to do it. It'll take some time of working on it, but you have an idea of what you're doing. For not being a siege engineer, you're making it work.
Yeah, so that would probably shatter and spray if it was just attached to a bolt. So that would work for now. Let's try the mass area delivery system.
Okay. Are you want to do another 2 rolls for those as well?
Yes. So I'm gonna use that's probably gonna be more so. I was gonna do like multi-chamber glass pots.
Okay.
Yeah, glass blowing. So
Yeah.
we'd need 3 chambers, I think, would be effective.
Okay. So give me a glass blowing check.
Okay. With an opening that goes to all 3 chambers.
Okay.
To be filled later. Still advantage?
Yes.
13.
Okay. It seems to be pretty well put together. Not the best
Okay.
work you've done, but it's still good.
So I'm gonna fill one chamber with vinegar, one chamber with the acid, and then I think I'll try some baking salts in the third chamber.
Okay.
We have that.
Yeah, you should have stuff like that.
Okay.
You're underground. Salt's not uncommon.
I hope that'll do a nice gaseous mix.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that will do a good mix of gases.
All right, and I cap that off, and I like put it in like a cloth cradle, and then I bring it to where Arg and Biddlesby are.
Gaiden drops this cloth cradled multi-chambered device in front of you.
Well. What is this?
Thought you guys might want to see this before I test it, and I want to make sure it works before I build too many of them.
Well, let us view the testing.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, the fumes are getting to me a little bit.
So sorry.
Man. Yeah, let's go over here where the wind currents are.
All right. We step outside.
Yep. You guys walk out of the camp.
And I look over to where there's a nice cross breeze, and I just give it an underhand toss upwards into the breeze area.
The breeze kind of catches it for a moment and like drags it away a little bit. As I assumed that you're talking about you threw the whole glass thing up in the air, or are you just talking about the mixtures and letting the mixtures go up in the air?
Yeah, the glass bulb with the mixture in it.
Yep. So you toss it up in the air. Everybody watches it go up. Everybody watches it come down and smash into the ground, and then just give me a d20 roll.
10.
Okay. You guys watch as a massive cloud erupt. The fumes aren't really enough to like burn the eyes or create discomfort, but it creates a big cloud. So with the right mixture, like it would be like with Arg's mixture of gases that he has, it would do a good job of delivering that system. Or if you mix other things to make a gas weapon, it would do very well.
Nice. I look at Arg and give him a thumbs up.
Arg, you see Gaiden give you the big thumbs up of like, we have it.
Let me see here. Would that be a history check? Because there's not really a culture check. Rolls don't do thumbs up.
Oh. I noticed the confusion on his face.
Yep, you see the confusion as he's trying to figure it out. But yeah, no, give me a history check. I like that.
Yeah.
Or nature. Give me a nature check instead.
Nature?
Yeah.
Actually have proficient. Oh! You should have stuck with the history check. That's 4. 2 plus 2.
This has got to be some weird sprite thing.
You see Arg look at you and then look down at his hand and hold his fingers in and start moving his thumb up and down like like doing this is gonna somehow make that up make sense. Like there's something about this. And he just shrugs and walks away.
I look at R as he starts walking away, look back at Gaiden, and then go, he's got the princess with him. And then I follow.
Yeah, Ark has utterly forgotten the fact that the princess is on his shoulder.
Yep, she is just
I look over at
along for the ride.
I look over at Biddlesby and give him the what hands. Like, what just happened?
He's got the princess.
Huh. She's not supposed to be down there with him.
And I go catch up.
Okay, well, I'll work on the mixture, and I head back to my workshop.
Alright, you head back to the workshop, and then Biddlesby runs to catch up with
Your Grace! Arg! Arg!
and she kind of looks back as she
Arg is not your grace.
You have Your Grace on your back, Arg!
Arg is moderately graceful.
The princess is upon you.
Where? Spins around looking for her.
Does she, like, fly off as he twirls around?
let me see. She will. Arg is twirling around, and she holds on very tightly.
Lady,
Like-
if you would like to let Arg back to his business, we have other tasks we could do.
Okay, Biddlesby. Arg, would you mind putting me down?
Arg starts. Yeah, sure. Arg gets down. Nice meeting you, Princess Lady. Again. For the first time. Bye!
Bye.
I would like to take the princess to the bread making area.
I'm gonna go hide that barrel.
And I make bread with the goblins.
She sits there watching you, and she goes, "Yeah, you showed me this yesterday."
Well, yes, but this is the bread making time.
And she looks and she goes, "Okay." And she takes a gold coin out and she flicks it up in the air and gets all the goblins' attention. And she goes, "1 gold coin for whoever can bake the best bread." And each time her voice pauses, she flicks the coin back up in the air.
I look at the goblins. I look at the gold coin. I look back at the goblins.
All the goblins are watching the gold coin go up and down. And then they all just kind of like look at each other with what can only be described as less than murderous eyes.
I would like to to begin baking bread with manic speed.
All right. Let me see.
What would that be?
Oh, there is. I'm pretty sure there's cooking or
Survival?
baking.
Oh no.
There is a skill for this. I'm pretty sure.
Oh boy.
I just have to find it.
Oh no.
Where's the cooking skill? Blacksmithing? Nope.
I have herbalism.
Cooking. Agility, intelligence, or charisma.
I would like to use my charisma.
Got cooking skill.
Hey,
Baking
Too bad I'm not there.
with feline.
that's a 19. I rolled a 16 on the dice plus 3. Here we go.
There you go. Yeah, you are in the thick of kneading that dough as you hear the sound of a little bit of liquid splashing into somebody next to you's bread. And as you look over, you see like what looks like milk being poured into the bread, like a little bit of milk dashed into the bread of another competitor.
He's making bread milk.
This goblin rolled a natural 20.
Oh no! No!
As he makes it, it comes out with like this. You can tell by looking at it, it is like soft bread, and it looks scrumdiddlyumptious.
I have no skill in this, but I'm gonna try for it. Simply because I want to ingratiate myself even more into goblin culture. So I would like to try and deceive that goblin into trading bread.
Okay.
With
Okay.
trickery.
Trickery.
Alright, here we go. So I rolled a 13. So I walk over with my bread and I go, whoa, isn't that weird how I put my bread in my oven and it popped out of your oven and your bread popped out of my oven?
The goblin looks at you and with like suspicion in his eyes and goes, "That doesn't make sense."
That's so weird.
And like you stick with it, and he just kind of goes, "Maybe it did. Maybe."
We're all around magic. Whoa.
And he kind of sits there for a minute and thinks about it, and he's like, and he goes, he hands you his bread and takes yours, and he looks at it and goes, he sniffs it, and he's like, "This doesn't smell like my bread. My bread must be somewhere else." You now see musical bread happen.
I quickly take the good bread to the princess.
You take the good bread over to the princess as anarchy begins to ensue. As bread begins to be like just exchanged at a rapid pace. And like,
that's my bread. No, that's my bread. That's my bread.
yeah, like the goblins are sniffing the bread at this point, and they're like, "This doesn't smell like my bread."
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Yes.
And thus began the first two third bread crusades.
Yes.
Oh, no. And I quickly give and present the bread to the princess.
He takes a bite of it and goes, "This is really, really good. I've never had bread this soft before."
Yes, it was infused with a hint of milk.
Impressive. She looks at you and goes, "Well, Biddlesby, you have done it. You have impressed me with your abilities all around."
Your words are too kind, and I hold out my hand for the coin.
You hold your hand out for the coin, and she puts the coin in your hand, but like lets her hand rest for a little extra time in yours.
Uh-huh. Close my hand around the coin.
Yep, you close your hand around the coin, and she just kind of sits there staring at you with a admiration and a smile.
I just kind of give like a little smile back, and then I turn around and I head into the bread wars.
Into the bread war you go.
I'm trying to make sure it doesn't turn out into a full-on brawl.
No, now you're seeing people like take their ovens and take the bread ovens and move them away from each other.
That way my bread won't magically appear in your bread oven.
Yes.
I love it. It's so good.
You have now created baker guilds.
See, that's the thing, right? Is we need society, right? And what helps
competition
build a society
breeds.
like competition?
Competition breeds good quality products.
That's right.
The high quality bread is made with competition.
What's the biggest source of meat down here?
Depends
Magic.
on who you ask.
Yeah.
Let's
If you ask Arg, it is
ask
goblins.
the goblins.
So the goblins say, they're like
What's
rats.
that Slink Skulk?
Oh, Sling Skulk? He looks
Yeah.
at you and he goes... As you approach Sling Skulk, he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, hello, Gaiden. Can I help you?"
Yes, you can. What is the biggest source of meat down here in the tunnels?
He, without looking at you, goes, "Well, that depends on who you ask." And he like does the eyes up and looks down at you and goes, "Depends on who you would tell."
Well, I want food for all of us. We need to figure that out.
And he goes, "Well, that can be arranged." He just kind of like, you can tell he wants to tell you, but he's also nervous to say what he wants to say.
Well, what's the matter? Don't you know?
He goes, I
thought-
know.
I thought you knew things.
Because I do. It's just, don't tell Biddlesby.
Don't tell Biddlesby, okay?
He goes, "Promise."
It's not human children, is it?
He goes, no.
Okay. So what it? Well, we're all gonna be trying to eat it. So what is it?
He looks around for a moment and he goes, no, he makes sure nobody's listening. He leans in real close. He goes, human bird.
Human.
And then he leans back and he gives you like that nod of like, I have found the greatest food ever.
Okay.
He goes,
So we would have to import it from the surface then?
he goes, port is strong word?
Right.
Let's say my tribe happened upon some of these birds and
Well, if you guys have a supply of birds, then what do you guys need to increase the roost and breeding so we can breed them for food?
he goes,
Because with all this bread, we're going to get malnutrition from not having the proper balance. We need something else to balance it.
he goes, do you think there's money in meat?
It could be. Meat sells to the bread makers. The bread makers open up more opportunities to bring in travelers. Maybe we'll start seeing elvens from the Legion towns come visit us for our food.
Are elves or pixies vegetarian? Demons probably aren't. Trolls obviously aren't, and I doubt a goblin would be. Centaurs have to be, though, right?
I don't know for certain.
Well, centaur would have to be because it's got human and horse stomachs, and horse stomachs don't have the proteins necessary to process meat. So if the meat passes through the human stomach to the horse stomach, that wouldn't work.
Okay, so that would make sense. I don't know about the specific ecology of the digestion of elves and pixies. I don't
Really weird thing to think about.
I wouldn't imagine they would be vegetarian. I don't think they would have to be vegetarian. I think a large proportion of them would be.
Really weird thing to think about is that a centaur almost certainly has horse duplicates for every human organ it has. And that includes kidneys and the heart. And the lungs.
4 sets of lungs. Centaurs
Yeah.
just run forever and never get tired.
No, see, that's the thing is, it also has 2 bodies that need air. So, it balances out to pretty much the same thing when it comes right down to it, only with a lot more complexity.
So wait a second. Centaurs can only run at human speeds because the human lungs are what intakes the air first.
They can run at horse speeds, but with human endurance. And interestingly enough, that does mean that a centaur would outrace a horse, because a human has more endurance than the average horse, a well-trained human anyway.
Actually,
But, yeah.
It wouldn't, because its oxygen intake is also that of a human and not a horse.
Right.
It's greatly.
Well, it would use a human. I would assume that it would use the draw of the human. Of the horse lungs, right? So that horse lungs would be
but
producing the suction.
Horse lungs are used to horse nostrils for breath.
You're not wrong there.
Not human
Maybe they
nose
have
and human mouth.
Maybe they have the same. Maybe they have the same endurance as a human, but they have really poor breath support. Like they're constantly gasping. Yeah, the whole time, right?
Constantly
And God
wheezing.
forbid you get a centaur with asthma.
Oh boy.
It's like a human running.
But
on a
honestly-
horse.
I know.
But honestly, though, I'm still hung up on the kidneys. Centaur has horse kidneys.
That processes poison a lot better.
It has four kidneys, 2 sets of kidneys.
2 livers.
I mean, with a minotaur, you
Pure
can just be
blood.
like,
But
What if the entire human part is
No.
just lungs and the horse part is the rest of it?
Lol.
no. What it is a centaur has the best of both systems. But it's such an abomination of nature, the systems are just barely keeping it alive at a normal mortal rate.
Dang.
Because of the DNA and blood issues.
yes.
Now that we've successfully sidetracked the episode.
Sorry.
No,
Kidneys
it's
really
good.
bugged me for a minute.
It's good. I think it's hilarious. Welcome to episode 9, where we stop caring.
Where we stop the game and we go, hold on a second.
Hold on
There's
a
a lot
second.
of fairy creatures here. What do they eat? And why do their bodies function the way they
How
do?
does a centaur breathe air horse lung?
Legitimate question.
So it's got really long lungs in the human body. Okay,
Oh, this is
that's what I'm going with.
Alright. So because I got lost in the sauce there for a minute. What did we just do?
So I think.
Oh, meat. Chickens.
Yeah.
Chickens. Chickens and meat, yes.
We're
Slink
talking
Skull
about
goes-
chickens.
We has chickens back at Tribe's home. We can bring chickens. We can make more chickens. And he goes, money and chickens. Yes. We get more chickens. And he puts his hand out to you guys, and we get more chickens. And
Yes.
he reaches down and gives you a chicken leg, which for you is the equivalent of like a turkey leg.
Yes. And then we just need to finish off the trifecta with some greenery farms.
Greenery. Some
like-
microgreens.
Yeah. Some cabbages and squash and tomatoes.
But yeah, you're given this cooked turkey leg size chicken leg for you. He goes,
Heck yeah.
chicken. And he gives you the nod of like, eat.
Like, take a bite.
You take a bite and it tastes delicious. This is the first chicken you've ever eaten and it is delicious. And he just kind
I
of gives
love
you the eyebrow raise and he's like, chickens.
Say yes and more.
Yes, yes. And he looks at you and goes, there be money in this, yes?
Yeah, if we get a good supply going, we could transport some back to the Legion.
And he goes,
Well, just the
Influence?
meat, of course, because we wouldn't want to give them the source, you know.
yes, yes, yes. An influence with Biddlesby, yes?
I think so.
Yes, yes. Influence with Biddlesby. And he rubs his hands together. Thinking for Biddlesby.
All right.
And yeah, he. I assume you're done talking to him. Is he? He's now plotting and scheming.
Yes. Import and breed chickens for export.
Yes. And in Slink Skulk's mind, steal more chickens, breed the chickens.
Yes.
We must
Oh.
steal chickens.
Make sure you leave trinkets for the humans when you take chickens.
he looks at you and goes, trinkets for humans, for chickens.
Yeah. Like a shiny rock or something.
Shiny rock.
And I look around the cave and I say, ah! I walk over to the edge and I dig out a big piece of quartz. And I hand it to him like this.
He holds the gemstone in his hand and he goes, trade gem for chicken?
Give gem for steel chicken. I mean, well... let's try both.
You can
If
literally just
try negotiating. No, we'll have to do that as a group. Can't send Slink Skulk to negotiate with humans. Yeah, so leave big piles of gemstones for chickens.
Make an influence check.
Yes. Yeah, whatever shiny rock you can find around the caves, because I'm sure the goblins don't really have much use for them. A what check?
Influence.
Influence, yes. Of course. 17.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. He goes, we tried this. And he, as you turn around and walk away, he goes and starts talking to some of the other goblins, and yeah, the concept of trading shiny gems for taking animals has been ingrained.
Honestly, that seems such a Faye thing to do. Like, IRL. Like, I could totally imagine Faye leaving gems for, like, stealing pieces of foods.
Yes. I mean, they leave precious metal for your bones, so yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Money for bones.
Pretty much.
It would probably be more along like little totems or tchotchkes, honestly.
I mean, eventually.
But gems
they'll get
too,
to that point.
occasionally, right?
Yeah.
We don't live in a forest, we live in a cave. So, we have
Most
available
likely, actually,
personnels.
just to be completely fair to the Fae, if they took a chicken, they'd take a collection of chicken bones and a couple of feathers and make a little, like, doll of a chicken and leave that behind. Like, it's the same thing.
Biddlesby,
Maybe in the 20th century.
as you go back to your tent to finish, wrapping up some of the other stuff that you're going to be doing,
Yes.
Slink Skull comes in and he goes, "Hey, boss."
Yes, Slink Skulk, what is it?
On behalf of Tribe, we have something to give.
Well,
He brings in this. He does a clap clap, and you watch one of the other goblins of his tribe come in with this plate, with this massive chunk of meat on the plate, and it is a chicken breast. And they set the plate down.
is that meat?
He goes, "Yes, boss."
I haven't sampled the delicacy of meat since I was on the front lines. Where did you get this?
He goes. He kind of like looks down and he goes, "Boss, don't ask questions you don't want answer to. Slink Skulk don't want to make boss upset." And he just kind of like moves his foot around a little bit.
Well, Don't just stand there. Bring it here.
He
You
moves
weren't
the.
going to just shove it in my face, were you?
No. He sets it down and goes, it's new meat.
New meat.
He smiles and he leans up against like your center pole and he's like, yes, boss, new meat. Try.
I take the fork.
Take your fork. Take your knife.
Cut a slice. I place. And I eat.
This is the first time you've had chicken, and it is the most. It is chicken. It is delicious. Everyone who has had chicken agrees. He goes, what do you think, boss?
There's a single tear that rolls down Littlesby's cheek.
Sling Skulk immediately gets concerned. And like he goes from like resting against the center pole to like putting himself closer to the exit and doing that slow lift his leg up and set his foot down behind him.
It's delicious.
Stops immediately and looks at you and goes, and starts walking forward and goes, so boss like?
You said I would be upset if I learned where you got this.
Yes, boss.
Then don't tell me.
But would boss want more?
Yes.
Would this make boss happy?
This
And he
will
sits there with a
please
big smile on his big old smile on his face.
Sling Skulk. I have a very special mission for you during the siege.
Yes, boss.
Okay. I then make a separate note in the Blood Fangs orders. Slink Skulk will be with Rugger and the Dark Fangs. While
He
the
just looks.
rest of the Blood Fangs are with me.
He goes, ah. He just sits there with a smile on his face. Yes, boss. I understand. Protect Rugger. Important job.
Very important.
And he goes, boss, I could make more meat come. I just. And he looks at you and he goes, I want Tribe to be in good position here at Crossroad.
Your position is secure.
And he shakes his head. He goes, not my Tribe's position.
I can only promise as far as my word can carry. I don't speak for the princess or the others.
He goes. He kind of like nods. And he goes, but Biddlesby is boss, and boss do real good work. And the boss is, and he points around and goes, the shiny one, he like boss. Princess like boss. Boss is boss like boss.
As long as those people continue to like Boss, Boss will continue to like Slink Skulk.
And he goes. And he just nods and he's like, yes. Boss's word go far.
Get
And he
more.
goes,
Get more new meat.
yes, boss. And you see him like wander out, like determinedly walking. He's like, oh yes, Sling Skulk is back, baby.
Yeah. Got a little bit of swagger.
Yes, he does. Yeah, you see him like leave, and he's like, yes, Sling Skulk's back in. The princess who followed you in and just kind of sat in the corner of the tent steps forward and goes, well, do I get a bite?
I look at her. And there's that, like, split second of, like, how dare you, but then, like, I realize who I was about to give that look to, and I just look like the sad boy who's about to have his one piece of cake stolen. And then I just, yeah, I slide over the plate.
He takes your knife and fork and cuts a strip of meat, takes a bite. She goes, ooh, this is really good. Hands you back the fork and knife and slides the plate back over and goes, Sling Skulk is really trying to butter you up.
I know. I hope
And
you
now that
didn't
you guys
feel
are-
it more, like, too forward for me to say that I don't speak for you.
She sits down on the side of your table and she goes, no, that was good. You've earned the respect of your comrade. Well, your subordinate, but comrade in arms nonetheless.
I'm telling you, being this bridge between elf and goblin, it's... Ugh, maddening.
She looks over at you and she goes, you lie.
You're right. I understand their culture more than my own.
She smiles and she goes, I don't doubt that one bit. Then she looks over at you and she goes, I think it's settled then.
What's settled?
And she looks at you and she goes, well, you are going to be a very influential individual. As you just said, the bridge between goblins and the rest of the people. More so, the bridge between goblins and elves. If you were in, like, let's say, father's position or one of my brother's positions, what would you do if you knew there was a rising star amongst potentially super well-known and well awarded soldier who led his troops to wage war on a frontier that nobody really cares about, but was able to bring in the goblins to the fold? And then she looks directly at your eyes and says, and was the first on the walls of the enemy fortification, showing his bravery.
Were I in one of those positions, I would do the utmost to make sure that that individual was still beholden to me.
And she gets up, she walks behind your chair, and she puts both of her hands on your shoulders and goes, yes. You would do everything in your power to make sure that that person was tied to you. And then she smiles, laughs, and walks out of your tent.
I think Bittlesby just, like, slowly contemplates the position he's putting himself in.
Oh no. Oh no! Hero of the frontier. That has a certain ring to it.
Oh no! No!
Oh yeah, and you're building your own little fort out here. So not only have you united the goblins, you've started the goblins into civilized building. The name Biddlesby is a rising star.
Is it too early to commission statues? Probably a little too early. Just a little.
Please, no. Please.
Got to make sure Biddlesby survives the siege first.
I have to be the first
No,
on the
no, no, no.
wall.
See. We'll make the statue in either case, but if he doesn't survive, then it'll be, the martyr's statue, and that's a completely different art style.
And that is true. So as a couple days pass, this nice, sweet princess is just making her way around the camp, getting to know the goblins. The goblins are in love with the princess.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
She is just the nicest, most wonderful elf they have ever seen, and she's just so sweet and so nice. And every time she sees you, Biddlesby, she smiles, she cocks her head to the side, and she waves at you.
Yep. I give the polite bow each time.
Yep. And then you see a wagon train. You hear the announcement that there's wagons coming from the back end.
Okay.
And as you go look out from the wall, you see a wagon train. Like a wagon train of like a dozen or more wagons.
I lean back over the wall. Your Majesty, is this all the supplies that we sent for?
As she hops up on the wall, she goes, "Yes, it's so good that they arrived."
Where will we have room?
And she looks at you. "You'll make room." And she taps you on the back, like in the center of your, like right at your spine, and you just feel that cold shiver of like somebody walked across your grave. She goes, "You'll make room. You'll find a place for a storehouse."
All right. Open the gates.
The gates open, and Arg, you smell various alchemical supplies as well.
Arg is like full on dog sniffing his way down the caravan.
You
Is
see
that bloodwort? Ooh.
Yep.
Oak root. Mmm.
And
Fresh spring water? Okay.
the princess walks up to you and goes, "Now, Arg, there are some things that are going to have to remain in my possession. However, as a fellow academic who, I just dabble in the arts of alchemy, which is why I find you so fascinating. I will allow you access to a lot of my private stores of goods."
Alright, first thing, as soon as she walks up, insight check to see if she's creepy or friendly today.
Okay, make your insight check.
Alright, dirty 20.
She is friendly.
Alright.
Yeah, ever since the yesterday morning, you haven't had that feeling. In fact, things feel remarkably good. Like everything's going well.
Alright.
And every
Arg
time
has a
you're
few
around,
ideas of what to.
yeah, every time you're around the princess, you just get that feeling that things are so good and things are just wonderful.
Arg has a few ideas of what to do with the. Ooh! Moon lilies!
And she just kind of smiles and gives you, just opens up one of the wagons and goes, she points to this big, massive chest at the very front of the wagon and goes, that one you can't have. Everything else you're free to take and, pilfer my stores, if you will.
Arg reaches out. Okay. All right. Arg reaches out, picks up the chest, and he sets it down on the ground next to her. And I am actually going to make a might check to pick up the wagon.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make that might
I
check.
mean, she did say.
Yep.
Did say.
Make that athletics check.
Oh. Well, so I have proficiency in it.
Uh-huh.
And I've got a 4 in might, so that's plus 6, which is 7, because I rolled a natural 1.
You go to lift the wagon, and as you lift the wagon, everybody hears what sounds like a tree trunk snapping in half. As Arg immediately collapses to the ground. Arg, you don't feel your legs.
What is he?
Yeah, Arg does not feel his legs at the moment.
Alchemical reagent fell under the wagon. I'm going to get it.
I pull myself, using my arms, under the wagon.
As you pull yourself under the wagon, the princess goes, "Oh, Arg, that didn't sound good."
What? Oh, yeah, cheap timbers on the wagon.
And she nods and she goes, "Arg, pull yourself into the back of the wagon."
Yes, ma'am.
And she looks over at you, Bittlesby, and goes, "Bittlesby, Arg has been injured. No heavy duty for him for a while. I'm going to take him to my quarter area, and I will administer the healing to him."
Are you sure we shouldn't use the healing magics of the goblins?
And she looks back and she goes, "I will ensure that he is healed."
All right.
Arg, you feel the wagons rumble and move towards the quarters. You are then with a team of elves hefting you out. You are pulled inside the princess's room.
Yeah, this isn't gonna go poorly.
And let's see. As you're pulled into the room, all of that wonder and like feeling of greatness and how everything's just, it's a good day. The moment you make it into the room, that is gone. And it is pure dread. You can see various reds all over the walls, all over the floors. It looks eerily similar to your water in the cauldron.
Arg is doing frightened rabbit. I am a stone. I am a stone. I am a stone. I am a stone.
And then you see the really nice princess at the door, and then she shuts the door. And that's a great place to stop for the night.
Ah! Arg! No! Oh no! We thought it was gonna be
probably...
a goblin that gets taken out, but it's gonna be Arg!
Yeah, I have regretted any natural ones in my life. I do not think there has been a natural one that I have regretted more.
That one right there. Man.
Yep.
It's so good. It's so nice to see things shape up in such a wonderful way.
Oh, this is so crazy. This is insane. Oh my goodness.
Well, I guess I was getting a little tired of Arg.
Well,
Always create another character.
Well, you're good. You don't need to make a new character yet.
keyword yet.
Look, there is always the potential anytime you guys get into a fight that I accidentally make the fight a little too strong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
There is always that potential. Just because I'm
Good question
expecting
about
you
that,
guys
by the
to-
way.
Huh?
Good question about that. All by the way, do we got anything on level ups yet or anything?
They have not released anything yet. They were supposed to have released something at the end at October 24th.
Oh no.
All I got was a update newsletter.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
how
like,
lovely.
I was like, what do you mean? I'm supposed to have 0.9 right now. I was hoping for like at least one more level up.
Please. Well, in that case, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Fair Before the Foul on Midwest Dungeon Delvers. It was such a blessing to have all of you here with us tonight, and I hope you will be just as blessed. Now, next week, I don't think we're probably going to be live because next week's Thanksgiving.
Oh yes, that is true.
So I imagine you guys will probably be doing other things. as well.
Probably holidays. Probably holiday stuff.
Probably holiday stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, not next week, but the week after, we'll return with some more Fair Before the Foul and see what has become of our good friend Art. Also, just a
Rest
quick
in
heads
peace.
up. Just a quick heads up. Super Smash Quest has returned, and it is every Saturday in the morning at 9:30 a.m. like a Saturday morning cartoon. So tune into that if you want to see me on another tabletop RPG thing. Hey, as well, I got a new job, which means stream schedule had to change. So in the afternoons, I'll be streaming rather than in the morning, except for Saturday, which is in the morning. All right, guys. Now that that's out of the way, thank you again, and bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Arch the troll with strength of stone, cave and mud his ancient home, blending ages, milk and honey, folk with brass, the mudmen's irony. Oh, the tales of night and day, grit and magic, steel and clay, got hidden swords, riddles be praised, our gods paths in a wild race. It's the fair before the foul, the fair before the foul. Quiet steps on muddy land, Roman tools and elfin lore, stands between peace and war. Guide and guides on wings of green, sprites own magic, secret sheen, harbinger of twilight's call.